Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about iOS 10, which I just installed on my iPad. As you can see, this is my iPad. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about it since iOS 10 is the new operating system we'll all be using when we move up to Apple iPhone 7. iOS 10 was a little less than 2 gigabyte download on my iPhone 6s Plus 128 gigabyte, and if you use an iPad, because there's fewer features in most cases, the download can be a little bit smaller than 1 gigabyte. On this iPad 4th generation, it was about an 850 megabyte download. So basically, the welcome screen has been slightly modified. On the welcome screen, they make it so that you have your control center, you have access to your buttons. I was listening to Sirius XM. One thing I hate about YouTube app is that if you're using the YouTube app, Apple iOS does not allow you to turn off the screen while the YouTube app is playing. However, what I do like is the fact that you can use Google Chrome. You can watch a YouTube video in Google Chrome, you can turn the screen off, and then you can return to listening to it even when your screen is off. Because sometimes there's things on YouTube you just want to listen to rather than watch. Okay, so as you can see, it's 10:51, Wednesday, September 14th. One thing I've noticed, the home button, because iOS 10 assumes that you're going to have a fingerprint sensor, it says press home to unlock. So basically from the home screen, they assume that really as soon as you put your finger on this, that it's automatically going to unlock. But because this is an iOS iPad without the fingerprint sensor, I can't necessarily do that. So you can also scroll over directly to your camera by, if you look right here, you can see that there's a camera by sliding to the right. And if you slide to the left, you get directly to your new notification center and news, calendar, and Siri app suggestions. So basically Siri keeps track of the last couple of things that you did. So as you can see in the news, you have quick access to the New York Times. They're still talking about Donald Trump. Meanwhile, Hillary's passing out left and right like she's a rug. It says Steve Curry backs Clinton for president. I honestly don't really know who he is. I don't pay attention. So as far as I'm concerned, you might as well have said nobody backs her. So anyway, Washington Post is asking for my password. I'm not going to obviously show you my password. And so there's your news. You can also choose to show less, or you could choose to show more. It says if you have any recently played music, your calculator, you have quick access to your calculator. I use Tripadvisor a lot because I'm planning on traveling a little bit more, you know, like the last couple of trips I've done, Colorado, Dubai, Seychelles. So my Tripadvisor shows up right here, and I'm pretty sure you can push edit, and then it wants your password, so let me look away. So you can edit the widget system so that you don't get the ones that I just showed you. You can go edit widgets, mail, maps, destinations, transit maps, notes, whatever. Basically, you can tailor cut it to your individual needs. And it all looks very good. Thus far, iOS 10 actually runs a lot more smoothly than iOS 9 did on this same iPad. And the reason why that's important is because this is a 4th generation iPad. This is not one of the newer ones. Even though this one has Lightning, it also has a slower processor than the newer iPads. I think what I'm going to do is get an iPad mini, so this way I'll have, if I get an iPad mini, I'll be able to, take a smaller iPad with me when I go on vacation. So the newest thing that they got here is this home screen. So if we take a look at home, what you'll see is that you can control your home screen, you can set it and forget it, they have automated behaviors, you can share access so your friends and family get a chance to look at your home screen. So it says get started. So basically what they've done is they've streamlined a lot of the things in iOS 10. So it says my home, start building your connected home by adding lights, locks, and thermostats. Basically they're trying to get you more interested in using it. So let's say add accessory. Add accessory. It says select an accessory to add. make sure your accessory is powered on and nearby. So you can add devices, like for instance, if you have digital thermostats, and if you have locks that are digital, if you have devices that you can use to watch your children, like baby spy cams and whatnot, all of that stuff can be integrated right here in this panel right here. And if you have automated functions for those things, you can automate them, such as Apple TV. You can make the Apple TV able to automatically grant access to people. You can make it so that it'll work with your other accessories. If you have an iPad that's always at home, it says you can run the iPad using iOS 10 to enable these features. And sometimes I use my iPad as a remote, but most of the times it's a lot of hassle to do that, so I prefer devices that have voice control. So other than that, I'm pretty sure they fixed a bug in Safari, because I had a problem in certain cases with Safari where it would keep on it would try to open up YouTube, but it would have trouble opening up YouTube. But a lot of the bugs that you had in iOS 9, they've pretty much fixed here. So, the first thing that shows up, it says, what is Samsung's quick fix for the Galaxy Note 7? I had heard that Samsung was planning on sending Galaxy Note 7s to the US Army so that they could use them as C4. So basically you would take a Galaxy Note, you'd plant it against a door, and then you'd shoot it and it'd explode and it'd blow the door off the hinges. I had also heard that they were going to be using Samsung Galaxy Note 7s to drop on ISIS, because they actually, when you combine the explosive power of the Galaxy Note 7's battery, they explode with enough force to kill all of the people in ISIS for the rest of forever. So that's a very good thing. So as you can see, the Safari system looks great. I also heard that there was something in music. So where's my music folder? I see social. Music is, here's the iTunes store, so they probably changed a little bit of that. I'll be picking up my iPhone 7 and doing an iPhone 7 unbox and review on Friday, and I have two 256 gigabyte versions coming to me. So this is the iTunes store, as you can see. It's just taking some time to load. The iTunes store hasn't changed too much, and they did say that they streamlined Apple Music in order to make it a little bit more user-friendly. I also had a lot of downloads this morning because there were so many new apps that were being updated. So there was a lot of downloads this morning. So this is what the Apple Music app looks like now. There are some people who actually watch these iOS videos because they're afraid to upgrade. They don't know if they should upgrade or not. If you have older devices, a lot of times the older devices run a little bit slower. So some people are afraid to do their upgrades, but me, I haven't had any problem. So it says you can listen to the entire music library, get hand-picked playlists and albums based on the music you listen to. You can hear new music first. They want a 3-month trial of this. I don't do any more 3-month trials. It's like, really, I do stick to Sirius XM because there's a lot of channels that I really like, so I stick with that. But this is what my music playlist really, there's not a lot of stuff there because I really don't use my iPad that much. I really use it for presentations when I have to. But basically, it's just streamlined, nothing major there. Finance, these are my finance apps, Capital One and Zillow. As you know, I work in real estate with mortgages and everything, so I'm always anxious to know when a new house goes up for sale, getting clients better mortgages and whatnot. And YouTube Studio, I don't even know why I bother keeping that app because I've never really, YouTube Studio doesn't really make sense to me. iOS, iMovie is my go-to for making all of my videos. In fact, this video is going to be put in iMovie and I'm going to put it together there. So I really don't use anything else. I really prefer iMovie for pretty much all of my video editing needs. So that's just what I prefer to use. So iMovie is just perfect, and the faster your processor is, the more perfect it gets. So basically, there's not a whole lot different. iOS 10 looks a lot like iOS 9, but most of the changes are cosmetic changes that they've made to most of the apps in order to make them look a little bit better, in order to make them work a little bit better. And I have to say, iOS 10 does work better on my 4th generation iPad than iOS 9 did. It was very choppy, it was very slow. Thus far on my iPhone 6s Plus, I'm not having any issues whatsoever. And so far, so good. So tune in next time for my review on iPhone 7, which will be on Friday.